Hey everyone, I am Karukuji, aka Artsy Blue Dragon. In this video I am going to verbally walk through a video process of making one of my recent artworks, Tiny Dragon Karukuji, giving some extra commentaries about what and why am I doing during the process. This all has been made possible thanks to my generous supporters on Patreon. Make sure you have checked all the links in description. This first video of my narration is available for everyone as an example of what you will get from time to time by being my supporter. I can't say how frequently videos like this will come out, but I'll try to make it once per month at least. Anyway, later I'll combine this with regular streaming, just give me a few months. Okay, let's begin our tour. First of all, I've started building my character using kinda snowman technique, because it fits my idea of chibi-like appearance perfectly. Proportionally big head, small chest, but again big belly. This all creates that cute impression of Dragon Cub I needed. Also, I wanted him to have comparably huge eyes to make it look even cuter. But not too huge, because this would ruin the whole idea. To make hands, paws, I'm using zigzags, marking shoulders, elbows and lower arm. It's the easier, if not the easiest, way for almost any pose with no over-exaggerated or complex perspective. I could use this technique for hind pose as well, but it was much easier to build them using just shapes, adding muscles over this all later. Sometimes I combine these methods together, but not this time. After adding a few corrections, I began building wings. It's just like what we are doing when building forepaws, zigzags. Every time I do wings, I think about them as if they were another pair of forepaws or arms, but with longer fingers and a membrane between them. Helps a lot. I'm still far from perfect with wings though. Okay, enough of sketching and building. Let's skip to the more interesting part. Volume. First thing I'm doing, selecting all the space outside of my character using magic wand and lasso tool. Then erasing all that mess I don't need. Erasing usually, it seems I forgot to do this part here. Go into Select menu, Modify, Smooth by 1, 2 or 3 pixels, again Select, Inverse Selection. And this will be our mask for the character's silhouette. I use it while build basic volume for character, intersecting this border only to build something which needs to look more embossing than it is at the moment. I'm trying to get rid of all lines almost completely at the end of sculpting my volume, starting to add all the shiny highlights, reflection, etc. at that very moment. The point of creating this grayscale sculpture is to make almost all of the details and provide as much info about lighting as you can before going into coloring phase. That's how greyscale-to-color technique works. Let's skip once again, because you can always watch the full process on my YouTube channel. Okay, as you can see, I've created a little palette of colors I maybe will use in my picture. Or maybe not, but I made it anyway. So, how to color this? Well, I was using a layer with its blending mode set to multiply. This works well most of the times to glaze the basic colors and reflections, but you should use a color dye which is significantly brighter and lighter than the color you need to get as a result. That's how multiply works, it's darkening the layers underneath it, applying the selected tint as well. The more brighter selected hue is, the less amount of this effect will be applied. Try to use my hint about the brightness-lightness of a tint you select and rely on your own feelings and preferences. There is no really universal formula how to colorize the grayscale, I can only give you my recommendations here. Okay then, when I finished the basic coloring, I started creating regular, normal layers on top of that multiply layer, and began painting normally, because at some point of colorizing grayscale you'll notice that there is no more use for this. You can't get the right color with that and such, so be ready to do this more interesting and hard way after. The last thing I wanted to mention that I've added all that tiny details like visible scales, additional edge lighting and more highlights on the stage of normal coloring using regular layers. As I said earlier, you can do this on a grayscale stage, if you feel more comfortable there and you know that you can do all volume and lighting correctly before you add colors. So that's all, my friends. I hope you'll find this explanation helpful and useful. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, thumb up this video and support me on Patreon for more videos, art and all that dragonish stuff you all love. See you later, folks! From Russia with love, Karukuji, the Artsy Blue Dragon.